So one of the optimizations I made in my workflow in the terminal was creating a skill for project onboard. Now this skill helps me with setting up my workflow exactly as I work in every single project. So if I start a new project, I just have to type /onboard or it's already automatically suggested. I have one question that I need to answer. It's an open question or it's a multiple choice. They are both included. And then based on that, everything will be set up so that I can start working as normal. So what question do I ask? It's a question of what tech stack will you use? So what will you use for the backend? So sometimes I use Xano. It's a no-code tool for the backend for APIs, for database, cron jobs, etc. And sometimes I use something else. In this case, that's Superbase or well, there are some edge cases where I use another thing. So most of the time I use Xano or Superbase. And I also have an option for other where I can just share my thoughts, just open and free. So if I have another option, I can just share it. I can also give more context. Maybe I have like a unique setup that I usually don't have. So just keep it simple. The question is, what will you use for the tech stack? And then based on that, it will start updating the Cloud MD file for that specific project. And it will also do a few things that I've told it to do inside that skill. So I told it to use Flownext because that's my main method of gathering information, context that I have inside my head that I can share with the AI and it can use to build. It also has like a planning feature inside, like a code review. There's a lot of things inside that I think are valuable. You could also check it out in my previous videos where I've talked about that. So for each new project, I have to set up the Flownext review and I'm using Codex for that. I'm actually using the Codex plugin, so I can use my existing ChatGPT subscription. So I can actually just have my two regular subscriptions, so Cloud and ChatGPT, and then they are connected. So Cloud is for the main thing, so like for planning, for code writing, but for the reviewing, I'm using Codex. So that Codex plugin connects it to the specific project. And that's something you have to do for each and every project. It's unfortunately not something that you can do once and for all. So because I have to do it for each project, I implemented that into the skill. I'm also having some specific logic. So let's say I'm using Xano, I have some specific workflow settings, or if I'm using Superbase, I also have some other different specific workflow settings. These specific settings and the Flownext setup for using the Codex plugin to review my Flownext plans, and also like what tech stack do I use, all those things that I had to set up each and every time on every new project. I just included that all into one skill, and that skill gets automatically prompted when I create a new folder, or I can just simply call it by typing /project onboard. So the reason I am not showing this specific skill on the screen right now is because it's very personal to my working style. I also don't recommend you copy it. I recommend you start building it for yourself. Look at what you're already doing. Look at what specific system there is already. And then if you notice yourself doing things a few more times, then you can just put it in a skill. Tell Claude, all right, I'm just doing this specific action and this specific action every single time when I, for example, create a new project. And then you tell it, put it inside a skill and trigger a skill when a new project is created. So for example, the trigger could be when there is no Cloud MD for the project setup. So this is how I do it. If you want to see more videos like this, drop it in the comments and I will see you in the next one.